G'day everybody, WheresWally here. Well, by now I guess we've all noticed that all flatties, despite claiming that they are seeking the truth, prefer to look at the little fuzzy-wuzzy grey edge images rather than do something definite. Look, I've even had a flatty say to me once, look, I don't look at lights in the sky and just keep looking at blurry boat images because they perceive that that shows them that they see too far. And of course that Black Swan oil platforms is an extreme example of this deceptive and self-deluded thinking. Their proof, shall we say, requires firstly that they tell the audience to look over here anytime anyone mentions the heavy refraction, those bendy flare booms, anytime they're mentioned, look over here. And secondly, they have to substitute the observed horizon for the geometric horizon. About halfway through their modus tollens, they do a little quick sleight of hand. The flatties don't seem to notice, but we do. Now, that Black Swan, I hate to say guys, that Black Swan is a dead duck, and the mob of galahs that keep promoting it don't realise that its goose is cooked. What a pack of turkeys.
So you were at 16 feet. Can you do me a favour, Rude? Can you put your elevation at 50 feet?
The horizon distance is 8.65 miles, mate.
Oh,
so yeah, they're still well beyond the horizon, at 50 feet above sea level. So there you go, Wally, mate. Smart.
What happens if you put your elevation to 80 feet?
I think you could be pushing it a little bit at 80 feet, but we'll see.
We'll see. Let's do 80 feet. Let's say you're
80 feet. So the horizon distance is still only 10 miles. I'll tell you what.
Do 120 feet. Let's say you was 120 feet high. How far should the horizon be?
It's 13 miles, yeah.
13 miles. Oh, so that's still not bad.
I'm probably a little...
Oh, I just love that bit where Ranty and Rude Earther are trying to tweak the elevations, but not go over it. Don't want to go too far. Don't get too high. Oh, they're so funny.
He obviously believes that we can never get a true measurement of Earth unless we get into a place where the atmosphere is non-existent, which doesn't exist. Exactly. So where can we get a true measurement of Earth without your refraction getting in the way?
There is one place we can go to that avoids all atmosphere entirely, and that is outside the atmosphere. Of course, any person with an inquiring mind will certainly have already done the research and found that the science is 100% globe, and it doesn't take long to find out the truth, if that is what you're actually seeking. For the rest, most people we affectionately call flatties, there is just two paths. You continue on along your flat path and keep selling your merchandise, or you can do these few simple things and actually and easily find the truth. So what is the best way to whack a flattie's fantasy? Option 1. And this is just how easy it is to show that there is a man-made object following the exact path of the ISS. Okay, so you just look up on a tracker site like Heavens Above, look up the ISS visible path for your area, and you're all set. It's that simple. You just go and stand outside at the appointed time, and if the sky is clear, there you have it. That visible pass is proof in itself of a globe, because there is only one reason that the ISS above you is in full sunlight while you're in darkness. And sometimes the ISS passes from sunlight into the shadow, the Earth's shadow. And sometimes, if you're lucky, that will happen right when the ISS is straight overhead. It's a spectacular thing to see this bright dot zipping along and all of a sudden it's gone. Can't see it.
Other than theory, can you give me one example, earthbound example, that we can all equate to, of orbital mechanics in action?
Say what now? Who was that? Pete Shea? Oh my goodness, I used to think he was a bit of an idiot. But after considering his request for an earthbound example of orbital mechanics, I see he's complete. But mate, look, I'll show you this little thing I made. It's an ISS tracker. Now, it's got some pretty cool globe maths going on in there. And all it does is get the 2-line element data from Celestrack automatically every few hours. And from that point on, it is able to model exactly where the ISS is going to be. Now, because the ISS is in orbit around the planet, I'm going to say that this is pretty much an earthbound example of orbital mechanics in action. The fact that it knows exactly where the ISS is, simply by using the radius of the Earth and a few cosines and sines and tangents, it's all too easy. And for those with really keen eyes, I wonder if you can spot where there's an ISS tracker in this particular scene.
And you guys have this weird block where you I don't know, are scared to like look into the sky to figure out the shape of
Okay,
it.
can I ask you a different Can I ask you a different question?
By presidential decree, there will be no looking up at the heavenly lights, even the man-made ones, to determine the shape of the earth beneath our feet.
If you refuse to do this much, then you're not even trying to find the truth.
No, I don't want to.
Option 2. Let's do this another more advanced way, a speed measurement. This step is to time the ISS between two locations at a known distance apart. So if you pick two places about 400, 800 kilometers apart, you should both be able to see the ISS at the same time. Then you record to the exact time to the nearest second when each person sees the ISS pass some marker like a bright object like a star or Venus or the moon. And I think easier than getting two accurate timestamps for the start and the stop position by the two people would be just simply have a phone call between you two people and record it. That way when person A says start, person B says stop, you'll have a nice, accurate, easy time between the 2 points. The time difference and the distance will allow you to calculate the speed of the ISS. Now we got around 7 kilometers per second, which is the same as the speed for the ISS. Now the link to Ruhif, Wade's Underworld and WheresWally doing just this is in the description as always. Now you flatties, if you refuse to do this much, you're not trying to find the truth, are you?
No, I don't want to.
And we know we've lost a lot of flatties at this point. They just want to deny the observable science right in front of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, WheresWally's got an answer for you. WheresWally's got an answer for you, mate. He's got an absolute slam dunk answer. So his answer to your video is this. I just looked at the UK from the ISS this morning. That showed the curve quite nicely.
Yeah. Okay. Option 3. Do a Red's Rhetoric Astronomy Live dual moon transit. And then you can calculate the height. And if you want to know how to go about it, the link is in the description as always. Now you flatties, if you refuse to do this much, you're not trying to find the truth, are you?
No, I don't want to.
Option 4. One night a long time ago, Wolfie was sitting in the broom and he was bored, and I said to him, you know, if you drove 50 to 100 kilometres out into the desert towards Wolf Creek at 9 o'clock at night, for 1 second the ISS will be in front of the moon. So he said, excellent, I'll do it. And he did. Now if only it was that easy to get flatties to go and photograph the ISS in front of the moon. And that one, the ISS was a little far away, so it was a little small and a bit hard to see, but this one was even better. Thanks again, mate Wolfie. Good job.
Rue, if you can see the actual structure of the ISS.
Outside of that.
You can.
1 second. What are the steps that a person can do that? I'm asking seriously. No,
get a P900 on a P900 on a equatorial mount, point it at the moon, go to
the point where you can
transit
actually see
finder.
the structure. You can actually see it outlined visibly.
Yes. Have you not seen these videos on YouTube?
No, I'm just asking actually about this.
Me.
Honestly.
This is why you're a flat earther.
Well, no, that
you actually don't do your own research.
That doesn't prove that the Earth is a ball, that they have things that can move around in the atmosphere.
Yes, orbiting would certainly prove it was a globe, wouldn't it? And if you don't want to wait for a transit of the moon or the sun, you could just do what I've been calling movie vertigo style. Basically, if you've got a P900 or P1000, you focus it on a distant star, and then using something like this little green tactical scope, set it up on top of your camera, and then you just point and shoot. And out of all the photos you grab, you might get one or two that pretty much show you exactly what you're looking at. And the good part about the movie vertigo style is and this little video clip came from a good mate, Astronomy Live, and he's using a telescope instead of a P900 or a P1000, but the effect is the same, if not better, and the link to his channel is in the ever-filling up description section down below. You can actually see that the angle to the ISS changes as it crosses the sky, and it looks like it's rolling. And of course, if you refuse to do that much, you're not trying to find the truth, are you?
No, I don't want to.
Option 5. Now, once you've accepted that there is a man-made ISS above the atmosphere, then you can start looking at the images coming from it. Now, you don't even need to consider if there are humans on it. That doesn't matter. If there is an object there that is high and then there is imagery coming from it, guess what? We're going to be able to use that to see a lot of things. Let's verify that this imagery is real. That's too easy to do. Just watch the correct live feed, and the link to that is, as always, in the description.
Any signs of a physical geometric sphere edge, formerly known as Earth curve?
No, not from Earth.
Well,
not from Earth. That's a good one.
Thank you.
That's a good one. That's the best one to date, Chocolate.
And just so you flatties can get a grip of the scale being shown here on the high-def Earth viewing system, here are two images that I captured from it the other day. The first one is almost a perfect circle that I saw on the live feed, and when I looked up the lat longs, I found that this to be in the eastern part of Canada, the Louise Babel Ecological Reserve, I think that's how you pronounce it. And as you can see, it's about 50 kilometers in diameter. Then, on another day, I saw the moon rising. Now, the moon, we know, is about 1/2 degree in size. That's angular size. That means the amount of curvature that we're seeing is roughly around 13.75 degrees. Well, that equates to around 1,500 kilometers of the limb that we're seeing on the left-hand side. And scaled off the 50 kilometer diameter circle on the ground, we're seeing about 250 kilometers on the right-hand side. And then according to Walter Bislin, the Earth Curve calculator, when you have a viewer height of around 420 kilometers, the horizon is around 2,250 kilometers away. And unlike that flat Earth black swan, the geometric horizon and the apparent horizon are always going to be the same when viewed from space. Booyah! Nathan, Quantum Eraser, Flatties et al. Where is the rest of the surface of the planet? There you go, Nathan. Sphere edge curvature to boot. How about that? Now, all you flatties, here's all you have to do. You just got to watch and wait, and you'll soon see some familiar places scroll by. Hey, Wolfie, mate, you want a game of GeoGuessr? Just pretend you're looking out the window of the plane and you see this. Where are you?
That, my friend, is Dirk Hartog Island and Shark Bay, the westernmost point of Australia. I have flown over there many times, but even at 47,000 feet, I was never anywhere near as high up as that vantage point they have on the ISS. For the geographically challenged, south is at the top.
How hard can it be to compare the daytime imagery shown live to what's outside? Oh, and good news, you don't have to actually wait for the ISS to even pass over your place. There are stacks of live streaming webcams around the place to use. Check this one out from Sydney. And here's another webcam in Whakatane. Oh yes, I got it right at last. Whakatane Harbour. Have a look at that one too. Now, if you refuse to do this much, then you are not trying to find the truth.
No, I don't want to.
Option 6. So how many other cameras are there? The answer is lots. Well, first, the most obvious one is the SD, standard definition camera that's on the top of the ISS. And it doesn't give quite as clear a view, but it certainly gives a spectacular view nonetheless. So don't forget about that one, like I did. And how well do they match reality? 100% is the answer that you seek. Do you all remember the Tesla Roadster and the views that it gave the world from 5,000 kilometers above the world? I did a video a while back where I saw a crocodile-shaped cloud over Western Australia from that Starman feed, and I wondered how many other views of that cloud mass could I find. Well, Himawari 8 was my first choice, of course, and bingo, right on the money. Then I thought, well, maybe Discover Epic had imaged it, and yes, of course it did. And it's taken from much further away, and it matches the crocodile cloud too. And that does mean that we can now easily see what the shape of the Earth is. Now, if you refuse to do this much, then you are not trying to find the truth.
No, I don't want to.
Option 7. Finally, this is an easy thing to do. When there is some large-scale event happening worldwide, like a huge dust storm over eastern Australia, or bushfires, or typhoons. And it doesn't even really need to be a disaster-sized scale event. It can just be a huge lot of storms like was over the southwest part of the USA on Friday night, the 15th of May 2020 for those playing from the future. Man, just check out that lightning up in the sky. Oopsies, I mean down in the sky. That big flash must have been about 1,000 kilometres or more long if my scaling exercise is in any way correct, which of course it is. So after I saw all that lightning on the ISS feed, I just jumped on the USA weather radar and sure enough, look at all those storms. To just go and have a look at one of the many views we have from space, whether it be from the ISS or one of the other space-based cameras. Recently, NOAA put up a link showing the Earth from different camera views. And man, this is well cool. And what is better, they provided a website that allows anyone to find the camera view for the part of the world that you want to look down on and check. It's too easy. If you don't do it, you're not trying.
No, I don't want to.
Now, a lot of flatties try to debunk the ISS. So let's debunk the debunks. As far as I'm concerned, that pinky in the pocket doesn't matter. The ISS is still up there with or without people. Hair washing doesn't matter. The ISS is still up there with or without people. How about the spy plane drones? Well, too slow, too low, too unpredictable. Certainly doesn't have the range. Space bubbles, doesn't matter. By the way, that's just water from the heat rejection porous plate sublimator. No videos of construction. Well, doesn't matter, and you're wrong, there are, but you're just rubbish at research. Anyway, the ISS is there now. And so far as the claim of a green screen or chroma key to be more correct, white lines are a real no-no. Grabbing forks are missing. Doesn't matter. Doesn't change a thing. There's still an ISS up there. How much easier do I have to make it? It's staring you right in the face. There's so many globe signs via the ISS. It's irrefutable. So what are you going to do? How much easier do we have to make this for you? So when you flatties start trying to pull this video apart, and you will not be able to do that, but you will want to address the orbiting ISS. Nothing about humans in space matters. There are just 3 things that you need to do to prove the ISS to yourself, and I can't believe I'm helping you again. 1, you need to show that the object is high, like 400 kilometers high. And you guys can easily check that by comparing it to a plane that is at like 10,000 meters up. Compare that to the ISS at 400 kilometers. Just get a mate in a town like 100 kilometers away and you can both spot the objects, and you'll see that you'll be able to see the ISS easily. Both of you will be able to see it at the same time, whereas the plane you will not. Then try measuring the speed of the object as it passes over each of you in turn. Then try pointing your P900, P1000 at it and seeing the structure of the ISS as it transits the moon or even the sun. Very easy to do, or just do it a movie vertigo style. And of course, now that you've proved that the ISS is indeed in orbit, now you can start looking at the images coming from it. Look at this image, and what do you see, Nathan? Take it away, mate.
A physical geometric sphere edge, formerly known as Earth curve.
No worries at all.
Let's try a modus tollens just for fun to wrap it up. P, the Earth is flat. Then Q, nothing can orbit around it. But, as you see, the ISS is orbiting around the Earth, not Q. Therefore, it cannot be flat, not P. Okay, well that was a mammoth effort. So I think in conclusion, guys, this is the Globies. I think you flatties should look away now, turn away. I guess if you think about it, the one spot that everyone would go if you could magic yourself to one place to solve this question would be the cupola of the ISS. To the Globies, I want to say, I really think we should be hammering the flatties with the ISS every opportunity we get. So if we're not hammering those flatties with the ISS every opportunity we've got, then we're not really trying, are we?
Looking forward to seeing this.
I guess we just need to stay sensible.
Stay sensible. How do I switch it off?